second session of today's post-match press conference. We are now joined by the home team head coach, Jose Riveiro. Coach, welcome. And if you can just please give us a brief summary of the match from your perspective.
Yes, of course. Good evening. Like I said before the game, extremely difficult game. If someone have doubts about it, there's the proof. This is a Champions League. We play against the champion of Botswana. Is a good team, a team with much more experience than us in this competition, and was probably was a little bit ugly, the game. Only maybe some moments of good football in both sides, very tight. And it's so difficult to play these second legs when you have a clear advantage and you don't want to lose that advantage. And that's basically the summary of the game. That was what the people could see. Thank you so much to the people who came today to Orlando, because the game, I said about the game, but the night is much more ugly even. So we have to appreciate that they came one more time in numbers and support us, because it's important in this type of games. Last season we got eliminated here against the same team with a very small crowd, and today we could feel much more support. It's something important for the team. And like I said, a very balanced game without goal chances. It was a game without goalkeepers until the end of the match. In the last 10 minutes, I think for 30 minutes we start to play much more close to Jwaneng goal, but not before. We start to get more chances in the last 10-15 minutes, and when the game was about to die, we got the goal that make us win in the game one more time and consolidate the result of the first leg.
We'll now open for questions from the floor. If you're known by a show of hands, please identify yourself and tell us the media company you present. Noted, and noted.
Thank you very much, Aston. First of all, with your permission, Aston, just to wish Karaba a happy birthday.
This is why just keep it professional.
Okay, thank you. Coach, just to check, how do you feel in terms of your team performance to progress to the next stage? And again, I think Gilberto has been playing with a bit of pressure in terms of the supporters. I mean, maybe an opportunity just to assure them that he's going to get to his best.
I didn't understand the second part of the question, sorry.
Saying Gilberto's not at his best, when you say to Gilberto's not at his best, when you want to say to the supporters to assure them that he'll get there.
Who?
Gilberto.
And the first part of the question?
Can you please repeat your question?
Coach, just your assessment with your team performance today, and then also your feelings about the team progressing to the next stage of the Champions League.
Like I said before the match, for us is one of the main objectives to be in the group stage. It's something that we have to replicate every year in a club like Pirates. It's very important to be there with the best teams in the continent. I think only with that I'm answering your question about how important for the group is. We have a very young team. I think for most of our players it's the first time in the group stage of the Champions League. For the coach who is talking to you, it's the same case. It's the first time in the group stage of the Champions League. And we're really satisfied with our performance. 4 games, 4 clean sheets, 0 goals conceded. We score a good amount of goals in these 4 games. So I think it's a good performance. And I'm so happy about each and every individual who participates today in this game. We know how difficult to face these games is. We're fully behind of all of our players because, like I said, we having our first experiences together in this type of matches. And for sure, this game is going to help all of them to feel more confident and to continue improving our performances in the future in the Champions League.
You still ask the Gilberto question?
I did answer already that question.
Coach, very from interesting times. The previous game against Chippa, you guys, Chippa was playing really well, right? And in this game as well, Jwaneng started really well. I think last season we saw Pirates in these type of games perhaps don't get a favorable result. Do you think that do you feel a different mentality brewing in the squad, and maybe they are more adept in what you are trying tactically? Because the coach just came in and said you admire the patience of the players during difficult times, the Pirates players obviously.
Absolutely. Like you said, last season we need to be extremely good in each and every game to get the result. In a day that we were not there, it was difficult, always collecting 1-1s, nil-nil. We have to contextualize today's game one more time. It's the third game in a space of 1 week. We played last Saturday in Botswana. We came back, we played Chip at home. It was an extremely difficult game to play, very physical. Today we play again against a physical team. We repeat almost in these 3 games the same start 11 with 2 subs only in today's game. So we get in that experience, we get in that capacity, and we get in that knowledge also as a group to have the capacity to replicate a good performance without changing so much, which is going to be also one of the keys when we go through the season with the PSL, with the group stage now, with our games also in the cups. So, like I said, also somehow yesterday answering your question as well, we are exploring a new space for us as a group in terms of how can we replicate performances where we get the result. I know that today was not a beautiful game where we can say that Pirates had a lot of chances, and no, it was not that type of game, but I think we have a professional performance and we got the result that we were looking for. And sometimes football is like this. And I'm happy to see the team growing also in this direction.
Buenas noches, Coach.
Buenas noches.
Felicidades for winning the game again and progressing to the group stage.
Thank you.
Coach, previously you've been saying that when you have to play the very same team, maybe after a certain period, the past results or the past performance, they don't matter on the day. Like today, you're playing Jwaneng, you've played them before. But how much do you mirror last year's performance and Wednesday's performance in making sure that today you kill the game and make sure that you progress to the group stages?
How do I measure?
Well, how do you mirror? How do you compare? Like, what is it that you do differently, making sure that this time around you go all the way? Like last year you did not, but this time.
No, there's nothing different, to be honest. We are insisting in the same concepts, in the same way to understand the game and the games itself. The difference is that we have stability in the group since long time ago, since 2 years ago, basically, with this coach or with this coaching staff. And we have more experience, all of us. So with the quality that we have in our group and more experience, the decisions are getting better, more correct decisions in our journey. Is what is giving us so far better results. But we cannot be fully satisfied. We have to analyze the spaces where we can be better in the future. We cannot feel now relaxed because results are coming in the last games, because if we don't move, the opponents will, and this is a constant evolution, and that's what we are looking for in the team. But like I said before, this type of games only help you to be more mature as a coach, as a player, and the opportunity to compete in the group stage with the best teams in the continent. It's a fantastic news for this group.
Good evening, Coach. Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Coach, when one looks at tapes of big players around the globe, they tell you about moments, small moments that decides the game. Time and time again, Monna Pulisale, it looks like he's at the right time, at the right place, right depth. Like today. Is it something that you coach him? Is it something that he's got naturally? And how blessed are you to have such a player who decides big games, big moments, time and again for Orlando Pirates?
Again, I think today we did a fantastic job in order to not give hope to the opponent. We reduce almost to zero the opportunities to score, only allowing them to have shots from medium and long distance, not really giving them the opportunity to feel that there's a possibility to beat us here at home. And that's producing opportunities later for different individuals in the team. We know our players very well. As you can imagine, we know what they are capable to do in different moments of the games, when the opponents are more open or when the opponents are a little bit more tired, and it becomes much more difficult to deal with some certain runs and speed up front. And that's the moment where our forward players used to get also some benefit in that stage of the game. And luckily for us, we have a lot of talent at front and a lot of players with capacity to play an important role in decisive moments of the games.
We'll take the final 3 questions, starting with Ferdinand.
Coach, congratulations once again on going through. The importance maybe of the international players that you have, and also how some players have also progressed maybe in the last 12 months. Just in the second half, I saw really in between 2 players, and he put his foot on the ball, and you could see also just the power that he had in that. So the importance of internationals in your team, especially as you go through the group stages, and how they've also matured.
As I said, we have an interesting group there, a group of young and talented players, a bunch of winners. They want to continue improving and winning, and again having the opportunity to play in this type of tournaments. Let's put in value the African Champions League. Is an interesting tournament against quality opponents in tough games. So every pinch of experience will count. And our players going to the national team, playing AFCON 1 year ago or 7-8 months ago, it's something that we can always capitalize as a club, as a group. Again, the talent is there, the quality is there. We only need to keep going and accumulate experiences together, and the future will be fine.
Coach, congratulations on your win. Gambokhelo from Soccer Duma. Coach, I wanted to find out, you've obviously been quite successful since you've been Orlando Pirates head coach. You've won Nedbank, won MTN8.
It depends who you ask.
You're in the Nedbank, you're in the MTN8 final again. But finally, you've qualified for the Champions League. Personally, as being the coach of Orlando Pirates, where do you rank qualifying for the group stages in your achievements as head coach of Pirates?
Absolutely special for me, as you can imagine. Not everyone has the opportunity to coach Orlando Pirates. First of all, that's the first thing that makes me feel fortunate, and that's why we are there. I mean, we have a fantastic group, and they are taking us to the group stage. And as a coach, I'm really proud of the work that we did so far in this competition, in these 4 games, because we were extremely competitive. And yeah, trust me, I know really well how difficult it is to play preliminary rounds and to play games that you can only lose because everybody feels that you already won in the moment that you see who is coming, which team are you getting in the draw. And that's our case the most of the times. And win games that you already won before the game start because people think it's going to be easy, it's going to be a piece of cake. It's so complicated because the whole environment is telling you that it's done, you're going to make it. And even though we are adults and we try to not allow those comments to, we keep it in the surface, sometimes for our boys it's complicated to do the same. So trust me, it's so difficult. And the proof was the last season, and the proof was again today to see how difficult it is to beat this type of teams.
Final question? Let me take us on the final question. Leader?
Okay, Coach, I'm not sure if this was asked, but you've done this with 4 clean sheets. And I think this is something very important for this competition, especially also for the next stage where you're going. What would you attribute this good defensive work to?
Yeah, obviously, yes. It's about concentration, it's about commitment. I think in the 4 games, we didn't concede so many chances. In set pieces, in every single throwing in these 2 preliminary rounds was difficult to defend. So the challenge was there, and the answer of the team was exceptional. And like you said, it goes without saying, in knockout games, in these type of competitions, have the capacity to defend well, to protect one result, to protect the lead. It becomes relevant, but it's a collective work. Everybody is committed with the defensive phase. We need to improve a lot, trust me. There's still a lot of room to improve and also to defend less as well, to spend more time on the ball and to play the way that we couldn't today, which is closer to the goal of the opponent. Today we were playing, especially in the first half, our possession was all the time so far from Jwaneng goalkeeper, and that's also one way to defend, especially in games like today that you are leading.
On that note, we reach the conclusion of our press conference. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, and good night.
See you on Tuesday. Thank you, Coach.
Tuesday.